Welcome to the Scenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Okay, so if you feel like your attention is just scattered, pulled every which way by deadlines, phone buzzing, that mental to-do list that never ends, you're definitely not alone.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like modern life just demands constant thinking, doesn't it? There's like zero downtime.
Exactly. No buffer.
Yeah.
And when that buffer vanishes, well, that's when the anxiety tends to flood in.
Yeah, your mind starts racing, body gets all tense, it's exhausting.
It really is. It's that state of hypervigilance,
Yeah.
always waiting for the next thing to go wrong. It just wears you down.
Right. And we hear about mindfulness as a solution, but honestly, telling someone who's already running at 110% to find an hour to meditate, that just adds more stress.
It often does, yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like another task.
Exactly. So the sources we looked into for this deep dive, they promise something, well, almost revolutionary for people short on time. A way to cut through all that noise with just a 5-minute reset.
A micro-meditation, essentially.
Yeah. Our mission today is to really unpack the science and, crucially, the how, the specific techniques behind this, because the core idea, and this kind of flips things on its head, is that you don't need hours of silence. You don't need a retreat.
Right.
Even 5 minutes done consistently can actually start to recalibrate your nervous system.
It's quite profound when you think about it that way.
Okay, let's unpack this.
So, to start, we kind of have to acknowledge the scale of the problem.
Okay.
Stress, anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Our sources are clear. These levels are really high across the board.
Yeah, seems that way.
And it's largely driven by this always-on culture, connectivity.
Yeah.
So the 5-minute idea isn't just convenient. It's almost a necessity. We need tools that are so quick they don't feel like another big thing to schedule.
I get the flexibility part. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
It's super accessible, right? You don't need special gear. You don't need a quiet room necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Desk, park bench, waiting for the kettle.
Anywhere, basically.
But here's where I need to push back a bit. If someone's really, truly freaking out or, just came out of a super stressful meeting, can 5 minutes actually ground them? Is that enough time?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it real de-stressing or just pushing pause for a second?
It's more than just pause.
Yeah.
It's targeted intervention. Think of it like hitting the emergency brake on your body's stress response.
Okay.
The 5-minute session works because it uses the most direct path to calm your nervous system, your breath.
Ah, the breath. Always comes back to the breath.
It does. The sources show that just focusing on your breathing, making it deliberate and conscious for even, say, 3 minutes, that's often enough to signal to your brain, okay, false alarm. It starts to override those stress signals.
So those little moments before a call, maybe during a lunch break, they're not wasted time. They're actually active training.
Exactly. Proactive mental resilience training. You're not aiming to be some Zen master overnight.
Right.
You're just training your mind little by little to interrupt that panic cycle before it gets totally out of hand.
Building mental armor, one tiny piece at a time.
Precisely. And if you want to understand why this isn't just wishful thinking, we really need to look at the physiology, the actual mechanics.
Okay, let's do that.
What's fascinating here is just how quickly these short sessions impact our physical state. It all comes down to the autonomic nervous system.
Right, which for ages, meditation's effects were just sort of anecdotal, weren't they? It makes me feel calmer. But now neuroscience is actually showing how.
Yes, exactly. We can now measure it. Science confirms these short bursts of focused attention reduce stress markers. They genuinely promote peace of mind almost immediately.
How does that work? When we're anxious, what's happening?
So when you're anxious, you're stuck in the sympathetic nervous system response. That's your fight or flight mode.
Okay. Body's on high alert.
Yeah, pumping out stress hormones, heart rate goes up,
Mm-hmm.
preparing for danger, basically, even if the danger is just an email inbox.
Huh. Right.
A 5-minute session, focusing deliberately, especially on the breath, acts as a direct signal to, well, flip the switch.
Okay, let's get granular on that. If I'm sitting here, shoulders up by my ears, sympathetic system blazing, what specifically in that 5 minutes tells my body to chill out?
It's primarily the vagus nerve. This is a major nerve, the 10th cranial nerve, and it's like the main communication highway between your brain and lots of your internal organs, heart, gut.
Okay, the vagus nerve. Heard of it.
When you start doing that slow, deep, diaphragmatic breathing, really breathing from your belly, which is
Mhm.
core to these 5-minute techniques. You physically stimulate that vagus nerve,
Ah, I see.
and that stimulation directly activates the parasympathetic nervous system.
The rest and digest system.
Exactly. Your body's natural calming mode. It's like sending an immediate physical counter signal to the stress response. Boom. Override initiated.
Wow. Okay. So the breath isn't just calming because it feels nice. It's physically triggering a specific nerve pathway that bypasses the anxious thoughts. Kinda.
You got it. It bypasses that racing mind loop and sends a direct signal. Safe now. Stand down.
Okay, that's powerful.
And that leads directly to the hormonal shift. Those short mindful sessions. Proven to lower circulating stress hormones. We're talking specifically cortisol.
Right, cortisol, the big bad stress hormone.
Yeah. And having high cortisol all the time isn't just about feeling stressed. It messes with memory, weakens your immune system, screws up your sleep.
It's pretty damaging long term.
Totally. So intervening, even for just 5 minutes, helps stop that constant flood of cortisol. It prevents that systemic saturation.
And I think understanding that you can feel the benefits, like your heart rate actually slowing down, maybe your shoulders dropping a bit, that cortisol dip starting right away, that makes it feel less, I don't know, less like homework.
Yes. It's not just an investment for some future calmer you. It offers immediate relief. That's key to its power.
Okay, the science makes sense. It's compelling. But for someone listening right now thinking, okay, I'll give it 5 minutes today, the big question is how? How do you actually get that physiological shift? You said the secret is mindfulness.
Yes, but let's be really clear about what mindfulness means in this context. It's not about emptying your mind. That's a common frustration, right? I can't stop thinking.
Totally. That's what stops most people, I think.
Right. For the 5-minute reset, mindfulness is simply focusing your full attention on the present moment. What you see, what you hear, the feeling of your breath, instead of letting your mind get hijacked by worries about yesterday or what-ifs about tomorrow.
So you're creating a bit of distance. You're not being in anxiety. You're noticing it, observing it.
Exactly. You see the stressful thought, you acknowledge it's there, maybe label it worrying, and then you gently, kindly guide your focus back to your anchor, usually the breath.
But doing that redirection, especially when your mind feels like a pinball machine, how do you teach that in just 5 minutes?
We use very specific concrete techniques that really engage that vagus nerve response we talked about. The sources highlight 3 main ones that are super accessible and effective for short bursts.
Okay, what are they?
First, and maybe the most direct route, is structured deep breathing. We go beyond just breathe slowly. Think techniques like box breathing or the 4-7-8 pattern.
Okay, 4-7-8. How does that work?
Simple. You inhale quietly through your nose for a count of 4.
Okay.
You hold your breath gently for a count of 7.
7, right.
And then you exhale slowly, completely through your mouth, making a soft whoosh sound for a count of 8.
4, 7, 8. And that longer exhale is the key.
That's the magic right there. The prolonged exhale is what really kicks the parasympathetic system into gear. Just doing that cycle maybe 4 or 5 times, that might take, 2 minutes? But the physiological payoff is huge.
Okay, technique 1, structured breathing like 4-7-8. What's number 2?
Second is guided imagery. This is brilliant if you find silence makes your mind race even faster, or if the internal chatter is just too loud.
Yeah, sometimes focusing on the quiet makes it louder, ironically.
It can. So with guided imagery, you use maybe 1 or 2 minutes of your 5 to vividly picture a peaceful scene. Could be a beach you love, a forest path, even just a safe, warm color filling your mind.
So it's not just random daydreaming.
No, it's intentional. You focus on the sensory details of that scene, the sounds, the smells, the feeling of the sun or the breeze. You're consciously shifting your brain's focus away from the stress loop and onto pleasant sensory input.
Got it. Sensory override. Okay, and the third one?
The third offers really immediate physical feedback, body awareness scanning.
Okay, I get the concept that scan your body for tension. But what does that actually look like sitting at my desk? Do I need to tense and release things?
Nope. No actual movement needed unless you want to gently stretch afterwards. During the 5 minutes, you just systematically bring your attention to different parts of your body. Start at the top of your head, slowly move down. Notice your forehead, your jaw, neck, shoulders.
Hunting for the tight spots.
Exactly. Most of us hold tension in predictable places. Jaw, forehead, shoulders, maybe the gut. When your attention lands on a tense spot, you don't fight it. You just notice it.
Yeah.
And then you mentally, gently invite that area to soften, to release,
Just with your intention.
just with your intention.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how effective it is. If you can consciously soften your jaw, Release your shoulders down from your ears. You instantly relieve a significant amount of physical stress that fuels the mental anxiety.
So breathing, imagery, or body scan, or maybe a mix.
Or a mix. That personalization is key. Maybe one day structured breathing feels right. Another day a quick body scan is perfect. Maybe you use a guided app sometimes. The goal is finding what anchors you best in that 5-minute window.
Okay, so the immediate effect is there. Science backs it up. Techniques are simple. But let's talk payoff. If the goal isn't just getting through a tough afternoon, but actually building lasting resilience, here's where it gets really interesting. The consistency factor.
Right. We've nailed the immediate benefits, the calmer heart rate, that sense of settling, crucial for managing a moment of high stress. But the real magic, the deep transformation our sources point to, that comes from doing it consistently, even just 5 minutes, but daily.
Okay, how does that work, stacking up 5-minute sessions? How does that change things long term? Is it just practice makes perfect?
It's more like, compound interest for your nervous system. You're actually engaging in neuroplasticity, you're retraining your brain.
Retraining the brain in 5 minutes a day.
Yeah. By repeatedly, intentionally activating that parasympathetic calm system, even briefly, you strengthen that neural pathway. It becomes easier to access, and you simultaneously weaken the panic pathway that gets triggered so easily by stress.
Just you're changing your default response.
Exactly. Your baseline shifts. You become less automatically reactive to stressors. Your overall mood tends to become more balanced. You might notice less obsessive thinking or rumination. Sleep often improves because you're not carrying as much tension into the night.
Okay, that sounds amazing. But let's get real. Building habits is hard. People start things, then drop off. Did the sources give concrete tips for actually making this 5-minute thing stick?
Absolutely. Practicality is key here. First tip, use the time limit to your advantage. Set a timer for exactly 5 minutes.
Okay, why the timer?
Knowing it's only 5 minutes helps overcome that initial resistance, I don't have time. It also helps you stay focused during the 5 minutes because you know the end is near.
Makes sense. Okay, step 1, timer.
Step 2, find your space. Doesn't have to be perfect, but make it consistent. Your chair at your desk before starting work, a quiet corner during lunch, even your parked car before you walk into the house.
Dedicate a spot. Got it.
Third, and this is maybe the trickiest part initially, practice non-judgmental observation.
Yeah.
Your mind will wander. That's normal.
The grocery list, the email you forgot to send?
All of it. When those thoughts pop up, don't get annoyed with yourself. Don't analyze the thought. Just notice it. Thinking. And gently, like guiding a puppy, bring your focus back to your anchor, the breath, the body scan.
So the goal isn't no thoughts, it's just noticing when you've drifted and coming back.
Exactly. Every time you bring your focus back, that is the practice. That's the rep strengthening your attention muscle.
Okay, non-judgment. Crucial. What else?
The final piece for making it a real habit is attachment, sometimes called habit stacking. Don't rely on sheer willpower. Because that fades.
All right.
Link your 5 minutes to something you already do every day without fail. Right after your morning coffee, while your computer boots up. Right before you brush your teeth at night.
Piggyback it onto an existing routine.
Yes. That makes it almost automatic over time. Much less effort involved.
Okay, let's address the person listening who's thinking, yeah, but I tried this mindfulness stuff for like a week and I didn't feel any different. Is that possible? Can it really work in just 5 minutes if you don't feel it right away?
It's a really common concern. And yes, the research shows immediate, measurable effects, heart rate, cortisol, from a single session. You are getting physiological benefits even if you don't feel dramatically different. But the subjective feeling of being calmer, the mood balance, the resilience, that stuff takes time to build. Think of it like exercise. You don't expect huge muscles after one workout.
Good analogy.
You're reprogramming potentially decades of ingrained stress responses. So yes, it's completely normal not to feel like a new person after a few days. Consistency is genuinely what makes the difference between a temporary pause and a lasting shift in your emotional well-being.
So what does this all mean?
It means that this 5-minute meditation idea, it's not fluff. It's backed by solid science, showing it can tap into your vagus nerve, lower cortisol, and give you an accessible, sustainable way to manage the kind of anxiety that's just baked into modern life.
The practical tool.
A very practical tool. It's safe for most people, it's effective, and really all it needs is your intention to take those 5 minutes. Now, one important caveat. If you're dealing with severe, debilitating anxiety or trauma, this is a great supportive tool, but it should absolutely be used alongside professional help.
Right. It's a tool, not a cure-all for everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But for everyday stress management, building that foundation of calm, daily practice, even just 5 minutes, is incredibly powerful.
We've unpacked how this small daily habit can fundamentally rewire your stress response. So our final provocative thought for you, the listener, is this. Take a real look at your day, even the most chaotic one. Where could you actually find just one 5-minute slot for stillness, maybe waiting for something, or just before you transition tasks? And then ask yourself, if you truly committed to claiming that single 5-minute pocket every day for the next month, what might the cumulative impact on your ability to handle challenges your overall emotional resilience genuinely look like?
Thanks for tuning in to the Scenario Podcast. Don't forget to visit scenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.